Alain St. Ange. He is also a friend now for, God knows, 20 years. He started...
Let's not count years here. No, Jürgen.
I think it's a good idea not to count the years. But Alain has been not only a GM of a bird watching hotel in the Seychelles before I visited. He became the head and CEO of the tourism board in the Seychelles. And after this, he became the Minister of Tourism and was one probably of the most successful ministers. Today, you see him literally everywhere in the world, and I think Taleb can account for this, yes.
The best ever. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Alain. He's joining us from the beautiful Seychelles. And I always said the Seychelles could really be a sister island of Oahu. When I see the pictures, and I've been to the Seychelles a few times, you feel like you never left home. Welcome, Alain.
Thank you very much, Jürgen, and thank you for the introduction. From the Seychelles, we often think of Jürgen as if we've known him since God was a very little boy, and then they killed him, and then he came back, and I still know Jürgen. But tonight it is probably an important evening, and I want to congratulate Jürgen for the initiative of launching this gathering of us all. It is an important gathering because through the Hope Project that has been done with ATB in Africa, when we think of hope, it won't happen by itself. Hope needs to happen by people. And it is through us all working together that we can have the spirit of hope and ensure that hope, resilience, gets us through this COVID virus that we are now facing. I follow very much on the line that Dr. Rifai has spoken about, but I also want to go a step further. We talk about domestic tourism. We must also include regional tourism. It is what will strengthen regions in this difficult time. It is the short haul runs that makes us stronger, because we also need to keep our regional airlines of the region alive. And if that is to happen, we need to include the regional concept of how to make tourism stronger. We think of Africa today, we see the difficulties of South African Airways. We know that others are also being challenged, including Air Seychelles, Air Mauritius, Air Austral, Air Madagascar. The whole lot is facing difficulties. So we know we have to work together. And this is why this initiative of Jürgen through ETN today is a valid, strong point that we have to support. We have to work together and ensure that we can make the difference in this critical time of COVID-19. COVID-19, obviously, we've seen the peak, I think, now, and it is sliding down some areas faster than others. The Indian Ocean, we are very lucky. Seychelles is extremely lucky. We've had no one die from it. We've had 11 cases, 6 have already been released. There are 5 in quarantine still, but they are all being treated. And because we are small, with a total population of some 90,000, we are able to do this tracing of people that touch each other through planes coming here. And it is much, much easier for us. I sympathize with the bigger countries like the USA and Italy and so on. But it is together, as we look at each other, give a helping hand, and try and advise each other through forums like this, that we will be able to survive and ensure that we take the next step. We know tourism will never be the same. This is quite clear. Tourism will now be dictated by a lot of virtual areas of working, instead of just the trade fairs where we've been for years and years. Now we will have to look at talking to each other through virtual means and still enticing each other to travel to our own countries. It is much more difficult, but achievable through formats that exist and through areas, because in the world of tourism, if it works, it is because we are friends. It is a people's industry, and people is us talking to each other. I thank you, Jürgen, and I wish you success with this forum.
Thank you very much, Alain. Before I let you go, there was an interesting piece of news, and I know you're no longer involved directly with the tourism industry, but as far as I know, you're running for president of the country. So that is a fairly high position in the Seychelles, I would say. And the Seychelles just made an announcement in the local press, I think just a day or two ago, that you are now opening up the country for tourism. Do you have any information on this, how you do this?
Yeah, the President of the Republic made an announcement 2 days ago that he is ready to open the airport once again. But opening the airport doesn't mean planes just fly in, because our tourism source markets are still under lockdown. So we will have probably a phased in approach of seeing chartered flights coming in, private flights more than chartered flights. Private jets will start arriving, I would say, within the next week or two. But these are small numbers and easy to contain. The bigger airlines are now looking at how to open the skies. Mauritius will probably have Air France landing before us on the 15th of June. So we will come in with regular flights as well. For now, it is a lot of cargo flights that are landing, but it is not commercial flights coming out of our source markets of Europe for now. We are looking probably that South Africa and Seychelles should open runs faster, but we also have to ensure that anybody coming, and this has been made clear by the Public Health Authority, that there'll be a lot of strict formats at the airport to monitor the people coming. And if you're from an airport that has the virus completely around that capital city, it'd be much more difficult for us to open it. But we are on the right path. I mean, we've now cleared for visiting cruises to come back to Seychelles, but there are no cruise ships sailing. So it is private yachts that will start entering the waters within the next few days. But Seychelles is conceived with sailors in mind, with so many islands that people can come to. And we are lucky. Most of the islands, apart from the main island, have not been touched at all by COVID-19. I ran Dennis Island for many years, and these islands are still today as virgin as they were, because we don't know what it is, COVID-19. We still have tourists on these islands that have refused to go back home and are spending an extended holiday in these remote islands where we have one island, one hotel concepts. So it is good to see that together we are able to exchange ideas and hopefully make a success of tourism once again, because the world needs it. I say thank you to our chairman as well in ATB. I see him there looking at his notes. I thank you for your guidance, and we will continue working together.
Thank you, Alain. I'd like to